Okay, today it is Houston versus Atlanta. So we're going to talk about housing in Houston compared to the Atlanta area. We help people buy and sell homes in the Atlanta area. Mary Ellen Banach and Sue Jennings, you can reach us at 770-626-5712. You can click on a link below. We're happy to give you any kind of information. And we want you to stay tuned because we are going to show the differences of homes in Houston compared to the Atlanta area, so you can make the decision yourself. So let's get into Houston, Texas versus Atlanta.
So if you're listening to us from Houston, you know that your city is a powerhouse. It's a powerhouse for energy, aerospace, and medical. The cost of living is generally pretty competitive and even slightly lower than some other major U.S. cities or metro areas. Houston has a lot of amenities, as does Atlanta, but they come without the cost that you would have in most coastal cities in the United States. So that's a good thing. But for the homeowner in Houston, the city presents a critical financial hurdle, which is the massive, unavoidable property tax bill. That property tax bill, by the way, can be up to 2.3% in Harris County in Texas, which is more than double what it is in Fulton County in Atlanta. We're down around 1.09%. Gwinnett County is up to 1.3%, but we don't get anywhere close to that 2.3% in terms of property taxes.
Wow.
The median home price in Houston is about $335,000. That's kind of low as far as the median home price in North Metro Atlanta. However, we do have homes of that price point, and we will be showing this to you, so stay tuned. So let's look at some of these numbers. Like I said, your median home price is about $335,000. Rent is about $1,200 to $1,400 for two-bedroom apartment. Here, we can find you rentals about the same. A lot of our rentals, depending upon location and the school district you're in, are going to be higher than that. Houston does look fairly affordable. Let's recircle to tax rates. So the effective property tax rate in Harris County is one of the highest in the nation, has an estimated of 1.77 to about 2.31%, depending upon which jurisdiction you're actually located in. And for a $350,000 home in Houston, you're going to be paying between $6,200 and $8,100 a year in property taxes. In North Metro Atlanta, for that comparable home, you would only be paying between $3,500 and $4,500 per year. Wow. So Mary Ellen, let's take a look at that house.
Yes, so this house is 8003 Oceanside Drive in Houston, Texas. And it's adorable. It's 2127 square feet. It is 3 bedrooms and 3 baths, and it's only $299,000. Wow. But the taxes on that, right, Sue? The taxes is what's going to get you here. But look how beautiful this house is. So, you definitely have, many people moving to the Houston area, many people moving to the Atlanta area. But it's nice to know that there is some affordability in a home. You just have to budget that tax bill. So when you're coming from Texas to Atlanta, you're like, oh, taxes aren't that high. They're pretty inexpensive. So I think you're getting pretty similar, with a little yard. And I just think that that's a beautiful house for $299. Sign me up, right, Sue? But not the taxes.
And I have to tell you, the utilities on not just that house, but houses in general in Houston, they tend to be 10 to 19% lower than Atlanta's utilities for the utility bills. One thing that Houston has in common with Atlanta, though, is we both suffer from a lot of traffic congestion. Both cities, you're highly dependent upon a car. Mm-hmm. That's a major, transportation costs, including insurance and wear and tear on your vehicle. And, at this point, we're all subject to high gas prices. So that's kind of a wash. Groceries are consistently one of the biggest savings in Houston. They're 2 to 5% lower than Atlanta, believe it or not.
Well, I find it's expensive here, but
yeah. Yeah, and actually
Going up.
childcare in Houston is actually a little bit more moderate than it is in Atlanta as well. I mean, you'll only be paying about $800 to $1,200 a month for childcare. They do have certain areas, just Katy, Texas, Cypress, and the Woodlands that have really top schools. But we do have great schools here in the North Atlanta areas. So the trade-off is going to be your cash flow versus your long-term equity.
Yes.
Houston tends to offer rent and lower utility bills, making that attractive in terms of short-term cash flow. But for long-term homeowners, the total property tax burden on a single-family home is critical. It's a continuous financial headwind that you hit in the Houston area. North Atlanta tends to have a more moderately priced tax environment, higher median incomes, and a more diverse job market. The job market here in Atlanta is always bustling. It's always growing. Even when I look at the statistic for the rest of the country and the rest of the country is down, Metro Atlanta is always up. It's just amazing here. You may actually have a more secure long-term financial position and consistent school quality here in the North Metro Atlanta area.
All right, so you want to look at some homes in Georgia? Let's do that.
While Mary Ellen's pulling that up, I just want to point out that Atlanta is slightly above in terms of cost of living above the rest of the state of Georgia, but it's still below the U.S. national average.
So this is really cute. This is in Cumming. It's 4975 Wisdom Road in Cumming. It's a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,264 square feet for that $329. So yes, our homes are a little more expensive, but we don't pay as much in taxes. So
how cute that is.
It is an adorable little house if you're just looking for something. I mean, I know it's only a 2-bedroom, and we're a little spoiled here in Atlanta because I think that a lot of our homes have a lot of bedrooms and a lot of space. So if you're coming from Houston, you're still going to get a pretty cute little house for $329. All right, we're going to go look at another one that was $295, and it sold at $295. And this is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,300 square feet. Cute little house, cute little neighborhood that you're going to see. A lot of the neighborhoods here have amenities, and we have a lot of 2-story family rooms, which you see in that, to give a little bit more space. Right, Sue?
Right. It's just the high ceiling just give it a feeling of grandeur as well as openness.
Yeah, so I mean, this house sold for $295. It's not really updated, but you know, it's still sold for around $300. And this one is $349. It's very unique. It's 6219 Hertzville Road in Cumming, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2,900 square feet. It kind of looks like a barn to me, but it's, you know, a cute little house. So like I said, there is some affordable living here in the Atlanta area. You kind of have to go out to the suburbs. You're not going to be in Atlanta, but you're going to have to go up north, east, or west, you know, which is normal. Of course, everything in the city is going to be more expensive. So that's kind of what you get for your money in the Atlanta area at that price point. So we're just comparing, contrasting at that 300,000 in kind of that north, you know, we're talking more North Atlanta is usually what we focus on between Atlanta, you know, and north. So it's kind of like a straight line. But if you go east or west, you're going to get some less expensive homes too as you go out further out. And that's the normal in real estate. All right. Anything else? What are we going to else talk about between Houston and Metro?
I think we've pretty much covered it, Mary Ellen. I mean, we did address taxes and so forth. And so in conclusion, compared to many higher cost states, North Metro Atlanta tends to be a good value for your money, especially when you're factoring in housing compared to home and other higher cost metro areas. We do have reasonable utilities here, reasonable food prices, and moderate taxes. Affordability, of course, does vary according to what county you're looking in, what area you're looking in, what neighborhood you're looking in, and that also impacts your commute time to work. So it's really important to consider where you will be working when you do look for a property in the North Metro Atlanta area. We're big on lifestyle here. There's a lot of amenities in our neighborhoods, golf courses, swimming pools, tennis courts, pickleball, things like that. And Schools are also very good here. We do have a nice variety of public and private schools. So that's something that's very important for families that are relocating with children. As a realtor advising investment property buyers, it's realistic to forecast yields and ongoing expenses for a property and still present a lifestyle that feels accessible to many people. So even though Houston's a phenomenal city, so is Atlanta. So if you're thinking about Atlanta, you might want to give us a call.
Yes, so reach out to us. You can click on one of the links below. You can reach us at 770-626-5712. If you're even thinking about it, just reach out to us. We're always there to educate, give you information. So making the right move for you is easy and stress-free. Have a great day, everybody.